Greetings and welcome back, everyone, to episode 22 of Into the Nexus, the Heroes of the Storm podcast. I am Garrett Weinzerl, and I am joined, as always, by Ferguson, better known as Kyle.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well. I just felt like being weird at the top of the show today.
Sure, leaving me a little cold and out in the open. You know, for everyone watching the live show, they have been seeing this going for a bit. But for everyone who just catches the podcast, you should check out the live show at some point, because there is a full hour intro show done by Dream Destroyer. There is, 10 minutes of us talking about making our own ketchup and breaking beds? It was great. If you have no idea how those ideas fit together, you missed out.
Yep, absolutely. It's somehow you and I had a full-on discussion about those two topics, and it didn't seem like a non sequitur.
Professionals pulled it off.
Yeah, it's more like we've been talking to each other in mics for way too long.
We're a little practiced at this thing.
We could do a show about literally anything.
About.
Just about.
I'm not very interested in classic sports. I'm sorry. I couldn't help you out.
I meant things that we had even an inkling of interest in.
Oh, good, because I'm not signing up for sports ball podcasts.
Sports ball?
Sports ball.
I actually watched some football this week. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, did they...
American football, NFL, for the European listeners.
They touched down?
They did. The Bears won, so that was good.
Man, I like dancing to, Come On Ride the Train and other sports jams while participating in the event. I enjoy eating roasted venison out of the back of some guy's truck while at the event.
Real quick before we, get on topic, I figure we'll just stay off topic. I want to give a shout out to my cousin who doesn't listen to this show because 2 weeks ago, Katie and I met my family up at one of the local high schools up where we live because that high school that we went to is where my cousin graduated from. And he actually now works part-time for the school as the announcer for their football stadium. So we went to go watch the team play, and he was announcing, and he's damn good at it.
Awesome.
It's impressive. And it was even more impressive because his high school's team was playing my high school's team, and we kicked their trash.
And he still managed to keep it pretty impartial.
Oh yeah. He got it together. I mean, you could tell when he would say the score, he would move through it very quickly. And it's 24-0.
That's great. So he was solo casting it.
Yes. Yeah, it was. And he's really good. He's impressive. I like seeing other versions of voice work that I'm not accustomed to.
Sure.
Yeah, it was neat. I was really impressed. And I grew up with the kid. He's basically like a brother of mine. So it was really funny just being like, huh. So this must be what it's like, hearing his him putting on the voice when Katie, my fiance, makes fun of me for my radio voice.
Right, and you can't stop it.
Yeah.
We're all going to be a little bit more sexy on the radio. Admit that one little fact about your scab knee. That makes you seem not so cool.
Yep. Yeah, just a little bit.
Or sometimes when you're just walking, your hands give out, and then you just drop whatever the hell expensive thing you were holding, and you wonder why. And you don't talk about those sort of things on radio. Your iPhone is fine.
Unless you're us. Then you talk about it.
Then you mention it ever so briefly, much like the ketchup in bed.
Exactly. That damn broken bed, man. I'm so mad. I thought I was done sleeping on the floor.
Casting is a fascinating profession, and I feel like over the course of our lives, of course, we've had Madden, and when you tune into the Olympics or major U.S. sporting events, you hear the same guys over and over. It's fascinating to see that evolution come across video gaming. And just how we now have had enough exposure to it that we can pick out a good and a bad caster. And even a great caster can make you care about a game you don't give a crap about. Watching fighting games is a lot of fun. I don't know what they're doing.
I feel like fighting games, as far as esports are concerned, though, it's the most easily translated. You can know nothing about the game, and you could be entertained by what's going on the screen. Whereas when we used to go to MLGs... back when we were doing StarCast, I really enjoyed dodging out and watching some Halo. What I personally think shooters are really hard to watch, but I play enough Halo, or did back then, that I understood it, and I really enjoyed watching it. But whereas I don't really play a lot of fighters, I totally get fighting games. Like just sitting there, it doesn't matter. Yeah, that guy's a badass. Sweet. Let's sit down and enjoy this.
It's a great visual communication of the work it took to pull off the ability, because if you just open up a fighting game and you have at it, you are kicking and punching. But man, those dorm room Soul Calibur tournaments that I got into back in the day, those were hot.
Yeah, it was Super Smash Brothers for us. Back then would have been Melee, and then eventually Brawl. Our senior year of college, I think Brawl came out. I think it was their senior year. But it was intense stuff. Very intense stuff. Anyways, let's talk some Heroes of the Storm, because there has been some shit going down this week. So let's get right into this week's news.
It's
Run, boys! Ha-ha! Let's liven up this place!
Can stitches play now?
Yeah, I love it when... Oh, cigar fell in the... Oh, wait!
What is it like, Kyle?
It's like I was somehow right about my prediction.
That alpha was not... The end of alpha was nigh?
Yes. Okay. And we would be soon be into beta, if not release, in the next 6 months. I'm holding to it now.
You did it, man.
I did it. They heard me. They said,
5 years of podcasting. I don't even know how long now, and you finally made a correct prediction.
I know. It's amazing.
It's nice. It's a good feeling.
Feels all right. It feels. We'll see come March how I'm really doing deep inside.
Yeah. So everyone, what is today's date? Today is the 25th. The final phase of alpha is here. If you're in the alpha and you've been playing, you've probably already noticed that this past Monday, the in-game store is done. It is shut down. You can't buy anything. As a result of that, all 29 heroes that are currently in the game are in the free-to-play rotation, so you can play whoever the hell you want. I kind of like this. There's a delightful mix of heroes going on.
You know, my first reaction was, oh, great, like here comes the noob parties. But you know what? MMR stayed the same. That didn't get a wipe. Of course, when we come back, if there were to be, upon release, a complete free-to-play roster, it would be a bit of a madhouse. But what wouldn't be? Resetting MMRs is always a nightmare for particularly new players. So I didn't really have any bad games this week. I definitely saw a drop in numbers, which was interesting. Usually it's sitting around 3,000 people online in the alpha. This week, hovered around 1,100. And I think that's just because, who's going to invest time into a game that, one, they're not unlocking things, they're not getting to keep their things. It's going away soon, so a lot of people probably return to their individual MOBAs of choice. I play a lot of Dota 1, so I'm used to not unlocking jack when I complete a mission or a game, so I was perfectly fine continue playing.
Yeah.
And I got to hit that random button, which was real fun. Because it was 29 characters of complete randomness.
Did they give a hard date? Because the quote here says, the week after we shut down the shop, we will bring the technical alpha service offline for more than a week of extended maintenance. I'm assuming this means Tuesday, bye-bye alpha, and we're going to have a little over a week of no Heroes of the Storm.
Right. It is a maneuver. They're uploading it from the PTR servers, because if you're actually in alpha, you can talk to people who are participating in a PTR version of StarCraft. But they're moving it over to the main servers now, and they say it's going to take about a week, but 2 days later after posting this, they came out and said that they expect to be up October 7th in America, October 9th in Europe.
That's a hard week if that is the case. That's not bad. I hope that's true. Because I'm really like this. I treat Heroes of the Storm like a game that's just out now for me personally. So sure. I expect it to just always be there. And I don't know what I'm going to do for this 1 week, Kyle. Are we just going to go back to Dota 2 hardcore for 7 days?
We could. A lot's changed over there, man. They had a huge patch this week.
I know. The fountain's on the high ground now, isn't it?
Oh, it's beautiful.
I haven't gotten in there since the patch. I was very excited to hear that, though.
There's always the chance that, you have someone sending an illusion, or someone's just so stupid beefy they just walk up there anyway. The damage didn't change on the fountain. But you know what? It's nice to not be able to be seen by a hook or really any other spell while in that area. Roshan got moved, which is when you have one damn map for your entire game, moving Roshan is just such a huge deal.
Yeah.
And Bloodseeker completely rearranged. You got a Phantom Lancer too. Like they did some work. Clearly, it's their post the international patch.
Gotcha. Now I'm thinking it's possible we may just take a week off from this show because I feel like it's a really high chance there will be nothing new to talk about come next Thursday.
Maybe there's a chance that there's going to be stuff. I'm very curious to play some more Dota during this downtime and see what that's like. I'd be happy to do an expose on Smite because I'm not playing that by myself.
I was thinking
So
what could be fun if folks are worried about not having it into the Nexus next week. Check out the YouTube, which is youtube.com/darkcastshow, because I'm going to try and make Kyle record a game or two of Dota with me. And we'll throw that up there as some supplemental MOBA action for the week we're gone. But yeah, let's go check that out. Anyway, continuing on with the final phase of Alpha. Obviously, if you're in the Alpha, once it goes down and we're moving to, I'm assuming, but they haven't actually said the word beta in any of, at least I have not been able to find it. So I'm like, well, is it not technically, is it just Alpha now instead of Tech Alpha, or are we actually calling it beta? I don't know.
The thing is, they're at the end of every single one of these posts they've made, they've continued to say, head on over to the account page and sign up to be part of the invite. And there's just a big, like you're saying, there's a big gaping hole where there could clearly be the word beta. I don't know if it's because they're avoiding saying MOBA and they're calling it a hero brawler, that maybe they have some other word for it they're just not choosing to use yet.
I don't know. For my purposes, I'll be referring to it as a beta for today's episode, but that's just me. So anyway, as we're moving into the beta, all of our heroes accounts are going to be reset. We're going to be back to level 1. All of everything we've unlocked is going away. The obscene pile of gold I'm currently sitting on, like Scrooge McDuck, is going away.
The pile of gold I was saving for Asmodan, never going to happen. We're going to get that after we're back up.
You're going to need a pile of actual money to buy him right away.
Well, you know who's not getting bought? Abathur. Sorry.
Oh,
actually, you're welcome, everyone I play with. You're absolutely welcome.
No comment. You said it, not me.
Thank you.
So in all of our real money purchases, those are finally going away, and that any of that real money that's been spent is being rolled into our what do they call it? The Blizzard wallet or something? BattleNet balance. Yeah. That's what it's called. Which, to my knowledge, once it's in your BattleNet balance, you can do whatever the hell you want with it. You can pay for a month of WoW, you can buy a mount, you can buy cards in Hearthstone, or you can just wait until Heroes comes back up and then rebuy whatever it was that you purchased, or buy something different. So,
awesome.
Yeah. So I'm trying to think of I don't think I spent that much real money. I think I spent maybe $30.
I know you got like a starter pack, and
I got the Warcraft starter pack, and I got one skin, and I think that was it. So that's $25, $30. I should be getting back. It doesn't matter. I've just been thinking about it. So also, if you spent real money, you're going to get the exclusive Wonder Billy mount, which made me ask, what the hell's a Wonder Billy? And then they showed it, and this thing is a new level of absurd looking.
You know what? You take the Diablo Whimsy Shire to a whole new level by introducing this Wonder Billy, which I thought was just a double-horned unicorn, but I guess the hoofs make it a goat.
Huh. I guess it is a goat.
Yeah.
There's something not right about its snout, if that's supposed to read as a goat.
No, it's a little too My Little Pony.
The snout looks like a cow.
Well, no one wants to watch the Ultabots, version of My Little Pony, My Little Goat.
The GoBots?
Yeah, no one's playing Duplos over here.
Nice. Yeah, I don't think you're going to catch me riding on this unless I'm playing Murky. Just going for the full troll that I can possibly muster.
But you got it for free. It's your reward for spending money in a game that they wanted to test the shop with.
Right.
Cool.
Right. Yeah, we got Geblin Mechatork in Hearthstone for testing the store.
Yeah.
Terrible card. Absolutely terrible card.
I haven't even entered my code into Hearthstone to get my ETC from BlizzCon.
Really?
Nah, Nah.
Oh, he's so silly, man. I love that card. He's a terrible card also, but he's really silly.
I don't give my opponents riffs or bananas.
Nice. Probably the most interesting quote in this announcement about the final phase of Alpha was that they said that this is the final planned Heroes of the Storm account wipe and monetary refund. They said that the goal is to avoid future player and hero progression wipes after they come back online, but obviously leaving the door open, saying that they may need to do that in the future, but that they'll be giving a sample warning if they have to do it. So does that mean this is it? We can start going for 40 and for those master skins, Kyle, once we hit beta?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Because that's what they did for Hearthstone. We only ever had the one wipe, and then they just let us keep our cards and stuff after that.
Right. I don't know if they'll... Yeah, they couldn't really change any way how the XP works or how the shopping works at all. So I guess they're good to go, which leaves a lot of people really upset about talent gating. It could change. It leaves a lot of people upset about having to buy heroes because, frankly, a lot of people are having a lot of fun right now being able to dive into all 29 heroes. It makes the game feel a little bigger, even if you don't participate in those particular heroes.
Okay. I hadn't really thought of that.
For me, there are so... With all the hours that I've put into Dota, particularly Dota 2, because it's a Steam game, so I can see right there my damn hours glaring me in the face.
It's a constant reminder of how much of your life is gone.
Exactly. I can go and look at my score screen and realize that there are heroes that I've only played once. And there are going to be heroes that I just straight up don't play. So sooner or later, I'm going to buy up all the heroes that I particularly want. But it's cool to get in there into the main screen and seeing everything just ready for you to play if you chose to have that stick up your butt for the day.
Yeah. That being
talent
said,
gating, everyone can just shut up about. Honestly, let's end this conversation, for me at least, because y'all are crying babies. And I'm a little sick of it because, you know what, play your game, enjoy it. I really like it. I find that I enjoy the two choices. I go, oh, well, I really wanted that one. Cool, I get to work for it.
So you're finally you're sold on talent gating. You're just like, okay, I accept it. You don't have an issue with it anymore?
No, in the realm of things to have issues with, my issue ultimately comes from, the game designers not being willing to implement certain tools or modes that they feel are too complex for heroes, just like not even putting them in. Doing the box copies things they've done in the past. That's not happening anymore. They're going to continue to update this game as it's live across its complete future. That's the only thing that developers can really do to upset me is treat me like I'm dumb. And I don't think talent gating does that because guess what? If it's your first time playing this hero, you are dumb. You are bad. And you deserve to be cut off a little bit.
Fair enough. So you think a part of the complaint just comes from the fact that we were in the alpha and we had already played with a lot of these heroes and then all of a sudden we had to unlock the talents?
Right, exactly. So, I do feel like there is a problem with, there's nitpicky things I can do. I want some rearrangings. I like certain talents as beginner talents better. I like certain ultimates better as the beginner choices. Or just, give both ultimates. That's not the hardest decision on earth. But ultimately, the talent gating thing, it gives me goals to unlock things. And granted, from, level 1 to 10, you're dealing with, 3 mount tints and 3 skin tints if you're not spending any money. There's not a lot to unlock. And you go through those first 3 levels real fast.
That's a good point.
Ooh, you know what?
You're selling me on it.
Oh, no. Sorry, I misread someone in the chat room, but I thought you said that you should just spend gold to unlock all the towns. And fine, yeah, do that. Like, waste your money, fools. I'll be here slowly progressing, enjoying myself.
It doesn't take that long.
No.
Especially if you win the first, if you win, I think it takes like 2 games to hit level 4. If you lose, I think, you're going to need to do like 4 games, but at least that's my experience. I didn't pay that close enough attention when I was unlocking Chen's stuff, but I feel like I won that first game and it was just like, bam, level 3. I'm like, oh.
I feel like the big caveat I have to throw out there for everyone, and it's kind of funny because I make the strategy segments for this show. and I may be less decisive in some of the things I say over the course of those, because I truly believe that video games are your own personal experience. One that you should, if you're playing a game, you should play and not stop playing because the comp is bad or anything like that. But two, it's an exploratory process that you enjoy finding out what you like about the hero and how you personally want to build it. And then, and only then, once you have an idea of who you are with the character, do you look up additional guides. But I can completely understand, people like, I'm not sure if you're like this. I know Ben, our friend on A-Move Radio, Ben, is, very much like, there is information on the internet, and I'm going to absorb all of it and make the most intelligent decision even before I play, because that to me is the most effective way to get this game done correctly. Yep.
And then you get into a game with him as Zeratul, and you ask him, Ben, why is this happening?
Right. Well, that's its own thing. That's applied skill outside of learning. But I understand completely.
He's not here to defend himself. That's mean.
If you're playing with a group of friends, you're up with your buddies. Someone goes, "Oh man, it's a really sweet combo. Let's bust out Stitches and Zeratul. I'll pull and you jump him." And you're like, "Yeah." Oh, I haven't unlocked Zeratul. Then the disappointment hits you, and that's when talagating sucks.
Yeah, that's a good point. But yeah, you've sold. I don't think it's that big of a deal either. When they first implemented it and it took forever, it was terrible, and I wanted to burn it with fire. I think they've found a happy medium, and I think it is helpful for brand new players, and for the rest of us, I think we'll be okay. Yeah, I think we can be patient for 2 to 4 games. It's not that big of a deal. This isn't 1 hour marathon sessions in Dota 2 for a single game. Well,
it also means that I drive power gamers when they play Dungeons and Dragons with me completely nuts, because I'm always like, who do you want to be? What is your essence? What do you imagine yourself as a medieval superhero? And they go, what's the best class? I go, ugh. Well,
that's why I'm so confused why you even enjoy these types of games and you're not just hardcore into the most roleplay of roleplay games you can possibly get your hands on.
It's because computers suck. They're horrible opponents to play against, and it's an unrewarding experience. I love beating up people.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, cool, man. Cool. We obviously have links to this big announcement about the end of the alpha phase in our show notes over at amove.tv/ITN. Or, they're on the official hero site. It's not hard to find. Also, after announcing the fact that alpha was coming to an end, we're moving into the next stage, Blizzard gave us a preview of the patch that we will be seeing once Heroes comes back online. And there's a lot of goodies coming with this.
Again, the post-technical alpha patch, not the beta patch.
Again, for my purposes, I'm going to refer to it as the beta because this is dumb.
Yes.
If it comes out and they've come up with some ridiculous name for it, whatever. I'm not in marketing over at Blizzard.
No.
So, not my job to worry about that kind of thing.
We would have stopped them from the Heroes of the Storm HOTS thing from happening. Granted, I do want to throw this out there. I'm a little excited. The portrait for the StarCraft BlizzCon ticket that you unlock is a sparkly, lightning emblazoned Protoss. So, the HOTS thing isn't around forever, and hopefully we'll be seeing some Legacy of the Void stuff this year.
I hope so. I was so disappointed last year.
Yeah.
So impeccably disappointed. It was a bad year for StarCraft. It's a bad year. Anyways, this patch looks great. First up, just smacking it right out of the park. Custom games are going to be re-enabled once Heroes of the Storm comes back online. And right alongside custom games will be replay functionality. You're going to be able to watch the replays of your games. Dude, this is great. This is so wonderful.
Yeah.
I mean, we have, 2 official Heroes of the Storm, esports leagues going on at the moment. This is going to make their life so much easier. And moreover, I think we're going to see tons of more Heroes League start popping up all over the place.
Yeah, most certainly.
This is there's really no barrier now.
No, and from what they've said, it is going to be a full custom game, not just, lining up who you're going to play against and the other team and yourselves, but also what kind of map you want to play on, which will be really interesting for those people who really grind out and figure out all the nitty gritties of the maps that we're missing right now, because it's unpredictable.
Right, which actually we're going to talk a bit about in strategies today.
It'll be real interesting to see if esports in general decides that they don't like certain maps.
Oh, you mean like how StarCraft does it, and they, certain leagues just are like, no, we'll make our own maps. You don't know what you're doing, Blizzard.
Yeah, or they've said before that there's going to be a heavy map editor that they're going to put out for this game, so you can make your own versions in an arcade setting. It'll be interesting if we have, they'd always put like TL right before the TL, Black Hearts Bay. Everything is different. Everyone plays it.
It's actually a fun map to play on. Oh, Black Hearts Bay.
Replays, nice.
I loathe you. Yeah, replays are great.
That.
I mean, this is built in the StarCraft 2 engine, so obviously much less of an issue of getting this into the game than, say, in this other Blizzard game that I may or may not do a show about, where we would really like this functionality to be present.
Sure,
yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what game you're talking about. There is no game that Blizzard makes that people are crying out for a viewable, watchable method.
I do a show about Titan.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you must be real upset this week.
Yeah, well, we were just getting it off the ground. We're a little... It was our timing. We feel like our timing's really on spot. Really on the spot.
7 years of disappointment. No, I praised them for that choice to cancel something that moved outside their passions.
Yep, and until I started seeing what it was, and it's like, oh, wow, this sounds like a Destiny that was well made.
I don't think it had anything to do with Destiny.
I don't think so either. I'm just saying, like, with the leaked information, I'm like, oh, well, this kind of reminds me of Destiny, but it sounds like it's actually fleshed out.
That's a bit of a weighted opinion. So with your time with Destiny, not feeling the cave anymore?
It's a horrendously flawed game that I cannot stop playing.
Fair enough.
It's like Diablo 3 when it first came out, man. It has some of the largest glaring issues.
Games plays fun. I'm going to choose to ignore half these things.
Yep. I'm ignoring probably more than 50% of the game that's just pissing me off. Anyways, back to the upcoming
I'm really
patch.
excited that in the game right now, in the client, we have a watch button, not a replay button. And we do have some really cool, for those who haven't experienced it, the rejoin feature is nothing like it is in StarCraft. That is purely 100% for the competitive scene. When those games accidentally end due to issues, they have to load up the game, both players get back in, and then you restart it from a point. This is actually a bit janky, new technology still, but it catches you up to the point and then lets you play. So I'm excited for active watching, getting on and seeing, oh, that tournament's going on, cool, I can watch in client, or hey, I'm stuck in a 15-minute game, man. You want to just watch until I'm done?
Yeah. That being said, the like tournament watching in client hasn't been confirmed. You're just hoping for that, right?
Right.
All right. Just wanted to clear that up.
Just hopes.
And almost as if trying to beat their own excitement, because hey, custom games and replays are coming. Losing my crap. All right, what else could possibly be in this patch that gets me excited? We're getting 2 more heroes. Anubarak and Asmodan will be added to the game when Heroes comes back up.
Yeah, in the upcoming patch, which is interesting. I fully expected them to stagger it. But
Me too.
I guess these guys are ready.
And I'm okay with that. Totally fine. Don't stagger it.
No, bring it.
Sylvanas in the game. Please.
Yes.
Thank you. Veilflare, one of the CMs for Heroes of the Storm, said that the matchmaking rating that we use to match players against equally skilled players will also be reset as a result of this wipe. So there will be a short period of time initially where the new system will need to learn the skill of the players actively playing games, and since everyone will be starting fresh, matches could be a little less than optimal at first. So just a reminder that MMR is getting wiped, so you might have a couple games where you're just like, oh look, it's this pre-made pro team that I saw in the HPL. This is gonna suck.
Yeah. Luckily, it's a team game, and you also get kicked for going AFK for too long, and there's ban features and everything else. you don't have the issue of I'm going to tank my rating and I'm going to go down and beat up some noobs for 2 weeks. But this will be a mess, absolutely. And you know what? If you're getting in at the start of this, if you just get invited, let's all just be cool about it because it's going to go away real fast.
Right.
If they're never doing another wipe, right now we don't have any announcements about seasons or anything else like that either. So this will be your MMR you keep.
Yeah.
Enjoy the ride.
Yeah, if you've been playing this a while, enjoy that one day of just noob stomping. It won't even be one day. It'll be like a couple games.
Yeah.
If it works how I expect it to work. But anywho. So I'm excited for that. Any other comments or things you wanted to put out there, Kyle, before we move on from all of this alpha ending, beta starting jazz?
Nope. No. Looks sweet. I'm excited. The week without it is going to be sad. And, well, we don't have to go, the 3 weeks we had to do between a StarCraft beta and the actual box copy release while all the hype's going in the background. So this, this is kind of leisurely. It's like, oh, we just take a week off, maybe play a different game. I'm not being assaulted by ads 24/7 watching the cinematic every night before going to bed. It's going to be okay.
Yeah. What was it when StarCraft 2 Wings of Liberty was in beta? Didn't we have like a month and a half or something?
Oh, yeah. It was long.
In between beta being shut down and the game actually releasing. Like, we were losing our crap, man.
And I worked that day, too. I worked that Thursday. And I remember, standing in the shop being like, guys, I'm losing my mind. Everyone's like, why? Who cares? My childhood's coming back, guys.
I was living in LA at the time, and I was visiting Florida when StarCraft dropped. And I remembered having to like beg my buddy who lived in Florida, like, yo, I know you've got a computer that doesn't suck. Can I? Because my family's computers were garbage. I couldn't play it. So I had to borrow my buddy's. But big thanks to him because he let me play StarCraft 2 on launch night. Anyway, BlizzCon is just around the corner, rapidly approaching at breakneck pace, reminding me that I need to decide if I'm renting a car or not. But enough of my personal issues. Last week we talked about that it had been revealed that we will be getting in-game rewards in Heroes of the Storm for either purchasing a virtual ticket or attending BlizzCon. And now we know what they are. We're going to be getting a portrait, which I believe you assumed, Kyle, and I said, it better be more than a portrait. I'm going to be really ticked off. And it is. It is more than a portrait. We're getting the portrait. We're also getting a mount. So, yeah. Huzzah! They're both like Nexus flavored.
Right. The sort of generic Nexus theme hologram idea that they've been going with. It looks cool.
It reminds me so much of the Polygon dudes in Super Smash Brothers.
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
I thought we talked about this on the show before.
I know we have, but it didn't come back to me. They redid the models on the random dude, and he's buff now.
Oh, is he?
Yeah, him and the horse are just taking steroids 24/7. Them horse pecs are just right in my face. I can't stop looking at that little chest butt.
Oh, man, look at this. It does have a chest butt.
But the horse is sweet. It's, it's not quite the armored charger, but it is a slightly upgraded version of the horse, not just a ghostly Tron horse in the first place.
Oh, I wish this had Tron lights. It's kind of just glowy. It doesn't have like hard Tron lights. That would be great.
Well, it looks like it has an aura to it, so I think it will have some sort of, the computer boxes oozing off of it a little bit.
Cool.
For some extra aura, but of course, for World of Warcraft, they did a Murloc again.
Oh, you got to do the Murlocs, man.
Yeah.
It freaking looks like Grom Hellscream. It's great. It's like an orc lock.
I really like all the D3 weapons, though. The transmogs, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it. Last year we just got like a banner, and this year they're actually giving us in-game items. Although we didn't. Did we have transmog last year?
No, because that was a Reaper of Souls feature.
You're right. Okay, so that's why. This is great.
Which is real cool. I really enjoy what they're doing with seasons right now in that game. And the Greater Rifts. I've been playing a lot of Diablo.
Yeah. That being said, StarCraft rewards, still the most boring.
Yeah, what can you do in that system? And again, there's a mystery one, which leaves me again with, oh, well, you're going to be a month
custom
late,
skin. like, you can unlock skins. Give us some kind of special skin. You know, I don't even care if it's for every freaking race. Give me one specific race skin. That'd be great.
I'd be very surprised if all the work, the replay features, the customizability, the update regularity of heroes, that same team is working on it. That has to translate over to Legacy of the Void.
I hope so, man. That would be most excellent. Anyway,
Yeah, and anyone who says, "Oh, what's with the horse? We wanted a vulture." It's coming, guys. It's got to be. It would be insane not to do it.
Oh, I don't think that'd be a BlizzCon goodie though, because it's like
No.
game specific. This is very open. It's open ended.
Yeah.
Anyways, before we move on to the strategy, I want to take a second and thank everyone who's backing us over at patreon.com/ITN. We even had a listener email us this week. It's just like, I don't know what the website you're mentioning is. Could you send me a link? I was like, I really appreciate your thoroughness in tracking this down. Thank you.
Yeah.
So currently we have 31 patrons backing us for over $324 a month. We really appreciate it. We already hit our first goal and have dropped the intro ads to the show. And we're getting up there for our second goal of $500 a month doing weekly after show games. So guys, just again, I can't believe I've been thanking you for over a month now. Thank you so much for supporting us on Patreon.
Absolutely. And you confuse the heck out of my mother, who calls you all the Patreons.
The Patreons?
Oh, you guys are getting some great Patreons over there. Yeah, sure are, Mom. Thank you.
Oh, my family doesn't keep nearly that up to date on any of the things I do.
They try at least.
They just ask me.
My dad still asks me, though, if I'm enjoying the Pokemon Pikachus.
The Pokemon Pikachus.
It's his general reference to anything anime or video games because he doesn't quite understand.
So he just lumps all of your nerddom into one very specific...
Yeah, you're still following the Pokemon Pikachus? Yeah, sure am, Dad. And did you kill Emperor Zorg? You killed him dead, Dad.
Zorg?
Every damn day.
Who is that? What is that a reference to?
It's a reference to Toy Story 2 when they have the video game in the opening scene.
Oh, Zerg. Gotcha. Oh, that's terrible. Your dad's a wonderful, stereotypical father.
Yes, he is. Where do you think I get my jokes from?
Oh, man, that's great. Well, let's get into this week's strategies.
Choose a talent.
Choose a talent.
Talent? Ah, that seems generous.
I have a PhD in PvP.
And our strategy this week, of course, is how to make dad jokes.
Yes. It's very complicated. You have to make really short puns, and anytime anyone says, Dad, I'm blank, you then say, hello, blank, I'm Dad. And, well, you've got yourself a dad right there.
Done. Moving on to emails. No. My Insanity, one of the teams that has a professional Heroes of the Storm, team, should have phrased that better, put out a tier list this week, ranging from tier 1 down to tier 4 of who they think are the highest quality heroes in Heroes of the Storm. Really just they kind of broke it down by like tier 1 is who's picked the most and who's banned the most.
Right. Basically, the heroes you can choose to make the most solid commitment to the game for your team, and also heroes that by getting rid of them, you're most likely destroying a strategy or composition that your enemy has. My Insanity is an old SC2 team as well. Yep. So a lot of these facts and thoughts are coming from the current Heroes of the Storm EU scene. So some of these may be a bit different for if you've been watching a lot of American streamers, but it's some good insight. And while you may not be playing or planning to play on a professional team or with the team general, there are certain heroes that you can choose when you're queuing up that are overall going to bring a greater impact to the game and basically not leave you useless. There's always that chance when you pick Abathur, another guy picks Murky, and you two have got, a cool combo, but together you really make one hero, because you're both kind of half a heroes for the first half of the game.
Right.
Both you get your ultimate, then you're kind of, you're about 75% heroes, but you're still not truly committing. Again, like Abathur, for example, he needs a combo. You can't go into there and be stuck with nothing but supports. You need some sort of assassin hero to copy, or you're not going to have the best time. So tier 1 is nothing but heroes who, if you pick them, no one's going to complain on your team.
Nope. Unless you're bad at them.
Sure. that can happen.
Then people will complain.
I don't think the tier list matters if you're bad anymore.
No. I also want to recommend, if what we talk about here today has piqued your interest, go watch the video of Caldor and one of the My Insanity team members breaking down this tier list, because it's great. They kind of go hero by hero, and they talk about the difference between the EU and the NA scene, and why they got stuck on Diablo for a little while, saying that he's significantly more popular in North America than over in the EU play.
Yeah, they had some great insight. Caldor, of course, wonderful caster. Really enjoy his insight in the game. Always just asking really poignant questions on his interviews. So
yeah,
definitely check out his stuff. But going into the first tier here, we have Tychus. His name is clearly Tassadar. Thank you. Arthas, Uther, Tyrael, Sonya, Vala, Zeratul, and Falstad. If you're thinking, oh, my favorite hero is missing from there, again, this is their perspective. It's not a big deal, but I can't think of any situation where I would get into a game and not be happy to see 4 of these guys on my team.
No, I agree with you.
Because of my own skills, I see the Falstad and I go, I'm watching you. You may suck like me, but everyone else, you're pretty damn happy with.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a relatively good mix. I'm looking at this, though. There's no specialist, and there's only one real support, which is Uther. I mean, Tassadar's not really a support.
Well, he is a support, and you can certainly put more points into making his shields better, and there's even certain ones, and you really have to announce to your team that I'm going the shield build so that they know if they have a shield on them, if they auto-attack, it heals them. But
Right.
It's, kind of this background thing. Really what you should be doing with Tassadar is doing a damage build and then saving lives in the background.
Exactly. I mean, I kind of react to a Tassadar being on my team the same way I react to a Tyrande. It's like, oh, well, they're a support, but I'm not expecting to have them make or break my survival in a team fight.
Right. I'm never going to dive into the other team assuming I will be saved.
Exactly. Now, yes, Tyrande can heal, but it's small, very small compared to all the other support that can heal, and Tassadar can't heal, period. All he can do is shield you. Unless he goes into... he can have the healing totem, which, since the change in the patch, is wonderful. I love me some healing totem now. But yeah, I more or less... Looking at their tiers overall, I think I more or less agree with their list. Especially when you look at tier 2 and you realize that these are some really strong heroes as well.
Right. The problem is they can be countered. You're looking at tier 1 here, really solid heroes that you can't pick out exactly what you would do to stop them. You can, if you see the other team pick a Zeratul, you can pick something like a Tyrande, or maybe even an Abathur. But then, what am I naming? I'm naming tier 2 and tier 3 heroes in the system because they are counters. They are reactions. A team that picks nothing but these tier 1 heroes is going to do a solid job. In fact, in the EU right now, Tyrael is being banned most of the time just because so many people rely on him as an initiator to get out there in the front.
Right. Yeah.
Uther is he's rocking it with particularly Cleanse and his stuns. And Zeratul, in fact, is the most banned hero because of Void Prison, which is pretty surprising when you think about your own, home games, running away from the Zeratul, and all of a sudden he starts shadow stepping behind you and destroys you completely. But Void Prison is phenomenal, and the amount of players it removes from a fight can just completely throw it.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. And honestly, I've been seeing Void Prison used more and more correctly lately. I feel like people are starting to kind of get into this hive mind situation where they're reading, much like Hearthstone, reading about these compositions and whatnot that pro players are getting into. and applying it to their own games. 'Cause I've seen some sick Void Prisons from people I do not recognize this week.
Yeah, to me, as a Dota player coming from, that game, I see a Void Prison, and I just say, oh, thank goodness, it's not a time stop. Because Zeratul can't attack you while you're stuck in his Void Prison. In fact, there's a number of times the world's been blowing up. Tychus is dropping nukes and everything's exploding. And I just walk right in the Void Prison willingly with open arms and accept my couple of seconds of invincibility.
Take me into the Void.
You missed me.
Yeah, it is. It's very it's very similar to Zagara's Maw. It serves a similar purpose, taking people out of the fight.
Right, and if you watch the Kaldor video, Zagara is probably the one that is hovering most in between 1 and 2 right now. She's still rather new, but the amount of damage she can pump out, particularly with her Hydralisks, is incredible. And she can really take down heroes.
Every time I play Zagara, man, I go like a full-on hunter-killer build. I take the increased range and damage, and I take the 2 charges. I'm just like, yeah, you are marked for death, sir.
Right, and if they commit into that, you can't stand there. Take it in.
Right.
You need to get someone else to either kill it for you, or you have to run away. And most of the time, you're stuck running away.
Yep. And
there are those heroes, again, counterable. You target that on a Murky, he pops bubble. Hydralisks dig themselves underground.
Yep. Yeah, as a matter of fact, today I was in some pickup games this afternoon, and I played nothing but Zagara, and I got stuck in one game in the top lane alone against a Murky. I'm just like, oh. And I started like willingly popping my Hydra on him just because I didn't want to deal with him. I was sick of him clearing all our creeps and then just pushing the wall. I'm like, you know what? Here's a Hydralisk. I'm going to clear your creeps. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
Because then he has to pop his bubble, and he can't do jack while he's bubbled. So it was so irritating, though, man. He went full on like siege, old school siege Murky build. It was the most irritating thing to play against.
Well, tier 2 here, featuring Zagara, Brightwing, Rhaegar, Malfurion, Stitches, Raynor, Nazeebo, Witch Doctor, Diablo, Illidan, Kerrigan, and Chen. And really, Chen's only in there right now because we don't know where to put him. He's a little too fresh.
Yeah, he seems... I still think he seems really strong. But, yeah, I agree.
He does, but he's hitting with Pelos. And look at this Team 1. Like, this Tier 1, there is no one here that can't be spec'd to at least unload a little bit. I mean, probably the lowest damage you have is probably Arthas. And, you just put everything into your Frostborn Hungers, and you're hitting for 500. You're doing some pretty solid work.
Right.
And his snag is easy to use. It's easy to hit with. So, someone like Chen, when you're fighting him and it's a winning team, like, was it this week that you and I played a game and you were Sonya and you played the very first game and you're like, I am all about this.
And then we lost 3 in a row and I'm just like, I'm done.
Yep. And even during that first game, I'm like, well, wait a minute, you're playing a warrior. So realize that winning with a warrior, you feel like God. You feel freaking awesome. And you're rocking it. But you go 2 levels behind and...
Out of the front of the pack, leading the charge, just, come, my brothers, to victory! And then, when you're losing, you feel like the most useless piece of shit in the entire game.
You're hitting with Pelos and you're made of them, too.
Unless, at least Arthas, when we're losing, I'm like, I can still freeze some poor bastard that overstepped and get a kill for the team. But
right, and that's
with Sonya, it's just like, I can't engage, man. I can't. I've got a chain that pulls me into them.
Yeah.
Like,
what am I
going to do?
Jumps me into them. Like, what? How am I ever going to help anybody? That's why I like Diablo, because when his charge pushes back things like the Plant Horror and Dragonite. So you can actually, unposition certain things even when you're losing. And continue to at least give something to the game.
Yeah. But yeah, looking at this tier 2, man, I mean, these are all still really seriously strong heroes. I mean, Rhaegar, for crying out loud, is I think one of the strongest damn heroes in the game, personally.
Right, but Rhaegar with Bloodlust, he needs that combo. If you get in with a whole bunch of heroes that are hitting like Pelos, Bloodlust isn't going to help anybody. You may, get that big heal off because you chose to do that because you're stuck with all these warriors. But what's the point in living if you're not going to put out the damage to sustain the fight?
Right. Well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've been in pickup games where Rhaegar's Bloodlust has been good with low damage teams because it finally put us over to where we could actually get a damn kill.
Right.
And give us the edge. Obviously, they're talking about, playing against another, professional pre-made. But
Stitches may shockingly be in this tier 2 for some people, but he lost Sprint. And we're all kind of left sitting there going, how do we get those sweet kills off again?
Yeah, it was Stitches and Brightwing that it seemed like, because of recent nerfs, were no longer in tier 1.
Right. And I'm very happy about it, frankly. I am more than happy to not get hooked and then immediately eaten and then run behind a wall.
I agree. It's not fun. There's nothing fun, and it doesn't even seem that skillful. Yeah, you landed the hook. Okay, good for you. But do you need to get like you are now part of my character, and there's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing in game design more infuriating than losing control of your character.
Yeah, agreed.
So, anyways, yeah, I more or less agree with the tier 2. Looking at tier 3. What? Sorry, were you gonna say something?
Oh, I was just gonna say it's really interesting that Raynor across the entire game. I know he's been kind of this intro level staple. He hasn't gotten a nerf, so he's continued to be just solid.
Right. And they even mentioned in the video that he was out of fashion for a while, and now he's kind of coming back.
Right, because there's all these nerfs putting people down, and because of that, he continues to move up.
Right. Exactly.
I think he's just real hard to use for a lot of people because his pushback shot does a ton of damage, but you should never use it to do anything but get that killing blow. Or, if you happen to run up behind and that's that special situation where the push is worth it, it just messes a lot of new players up.
Mm-hmm.
And Illidan needs a lot of support. You got to put him in a group.
Oh, yeah. Illidan's tough, man. I do not like playing Illidan at all.
I really liked him, of course, during Artifacts when everyone liked him because his auto attack damage was through the roof.
Oh, now, I liked him when he was a broken POS because Artifacts were bad game design.
Yeah, but right now it is like we talked about with the Warriors. You're Illidan and you are just trashing people or you are useless. And uselessness comes even a level behind.
Right. I've seen that. We've all been there. We've all seen that happen. It's like, yeah, look at that Illidan rocking that. Oh, he's just instantly dead. Whoa, okay. What happened there?
Right, and then a lot of Illidans too have that, they can't make that mental shift when they start losing because they picked Metamorphosis. So they, a couple minutes ago when you got 10 first, he was jumping in the middle of everyone and just, now I am complete school and everybody in the house. And then suddenly you're behind and he's still doing it over and over again.
Yeah.
But that's what you have to contribute is jumping in people's face and trying to get some body blocks on.
So looking at tier 3, we have Abathur, Gazlo, Tyrande, Sergeant Hammer, ETC, Muradin, and Nova. And something I was a little surprised by because I find Tyrande really strong, personally.
Right. Again, this is for, my Insanity's team. It's their perspective. I look at this and apply it to playing solo queue for myself, and it still works well. Tyrande requires some help. And if you pick Tyrande, there's always that chance. Unlike tier 1, where we talked about everyone was good. Nothing could ever go wrong for you picking any of those heroes. Tyrande, you may, require certain heroes to be on your team. There's great combos that can be done, but they can be easily ruined by removing certain characters.
That's a really good point. Anytime I play, or I find that things go really well if I'm paired with another high damage assassin because we work in tandem. I place Hunter's Mark and they just die.
Or this past week when you and I were playing Diablo Tyrande, that was a delight. And you and I finally, for some reason, just clicked. And we would warn each other when we were going to do the stuns.
No, I think the tipping point was I yelled after missing like 3. Kyle, I'm not going to use my stun until you flip them. Yep. Once you flip them, I will stun them.
Works so beautiful.
And then we just started kicking total ass. It was wonderful.
I loved it.
But sorry, you were going to move on from Tyrande. Who were you talking about?
Oh, Sergeant Hammer.
Sergeant Hammer.
Again, great. You picture in your mind she's mad insane, but then you put her with what, like 2 supports, and she's not worth healing. And then you start...
Also, don't forget about the recent changes to her.
Right.
She's not nearly as just like easy to play.
Right, and in fact, most pro teams are doing a tank build with her, where they pick every ability that gives her some sort of survivability, stun resist, or a heal.
Make the tank the tank. Who'd have thunk it?
I know.
Yeah, but the rest of these, I get it. Muradin, you know, I really recommend him for beginners. I don't think he's one of the strongest overall, though.
I had a great time in my random match last night. That was dwarf toss. Does he toss himself, or is it dwarf jump? Whatever the ability may be. I love it.
Nobody
it's
tosses
delightful.
a dwarf, man. Nobody tosses a dwarf.
No. At least don't tell the elf. But, you know, you're not going to contribute as much. I think Nova being on here is probably the biggest statement to this tier being mostly situational. And, you know what, with Nova, it's a lot like a couple of StarCraft strategies out there where your strategy should never involve the other person messing up. And Zeratul has the stealth mechanic much like Nova does, but Nova is, again, every ability, think of her ultimates, is relying on either someone not running behind a building, not getting body blocked, getting stunned in such a way that they do not run out of the space laser, which again is, you know, a situational. You require certain team structure to use her well. So I used to think seeing a Nova...
Sorry, go ahead.
I used to think seeing a Nova on my team immediately meant, you know, end game, like, let's do this. Great times were ahead. But nowadays, I completely agree with this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good point. Having to rely on your opponent making a mistake is not really a good way to go about playing any game. Me personally, I just find Nova is so incredibly like narrowed in on being a one-on-one hero. She really doesn't bring a whole lot to a team fight. She's very much about single target damage.
For me, the pride of a Nova is someone who can really use decoy. And there are people who are tricky bastards, and I applaud them. My brain doesn't quite think that way for some reason. You know, just my personal preference. I'm a very mini-map aware person. I like taking advantage of the movements of my team. And you know what? The best Novas I'm seeing right now are people who start the game and they say, ping if you need me. Because they're going to roam the entire game looking for opportunities. They can't push lanes.
Right. Right. And she's another one of those heroes that feels like when you're losing, it's just like, I don't know.
You want to do something about this Nova? You'll stay in the base. It's okay.
we got Mercs coming Nova. It's just like, yeah, but if I uncloak, I'm dead.
Yeah.
Like, that's the end of this. It's tough. It's tough being a Nova. I'm not sure. And I'm not sure how to fix it either. Like, obviously, we're sitting here talking about the problems. I don't know what the solution is.
No.
But anyway, let's have a good laugh for a quick second and talk about their tier 4, because they have labeled tier 4 the troll's favorite, and it is sitting here as a couple that I believe would hand in hand skip into the fiery pits of hell, laughing maniacally, is Murky and Lily. And if you've listened to any episode of this show, you know that we fully endorse this decision.
It's a great place to put them, calling them the troll's favorites. Their ults, Lily's ult can be interrupted, and Murky is not contributing as much as a real player. You're working with gimmicks a lot of the time, and Lily has that lower skill level they gave her, so her abilities aren't quite as powerful on top of it. This doesn't mean strategies aren't going to be made incorporating these heroes. In fact, to the contrary, My Insanity says at the end of the video that they are working on a Murky-based strategy right now. But if you're going to give yourself that solo game, you pick Abathur. Okay, I got to get to level 10 to contribute. You pick Murky, though, a lot can go wrong in that team comp, and you're relying solely on other people.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to add. I think this is the two worst heroes in the whole damn game. I'm not excited to play against these two, and I'm not excited to have them on my team. Enough said.
Yeah.
Yeah. Before we end, I really want to recommend again, folks, go check out the video with Caldor. breaking this down. It was a really good video. Some good Heroes content. So, any closing thoughts, Kyle, before we move on to emails?
There's a conversation in the chat going on about, guys saying how much they love Abathur. And, I dissed myself at the beginning. I love him too. Like, I lie. I'm going to buy him at some point. I've got other priority heroes, but I love doing what he does and contributes to the map. But when he uses his ult, which is what you're really gearing up for, what you're, just, come on, guys, let's just play defensively until I'm level 10. You don't get any talents. And you only get the ultimate that they pick. So you need heroes like Tychus. Because Tychus, when he pops into Odin form, he has no talents. And any hero that has a great ability that does not require them to use their talents to augment it is going to be a good Abathur copy. And that's really what it's about. You're making a gamble for your team when you pick Abathur playing solo queue.
Yeah, and keep in the back of your mind, everyone, that they have said that they are working on a second heroic ability for Abathur, so this could all change.
Yeah.
Should his second ability be good and make him playable in a situation where you don't have a perfect character that you would want to copy. So.
And again, enjoy yourself. Take the pros with the game, a grain of salt.
Yep.
A game of salt.
But don't play Murky and Lily. You're better than that. I believe in you.
Have some pride in yourself, man.
Wasn't going that far. Just trying to. I believe that you can play a harder to play and more rewarding hero. But hey, maybe you just like Murlocs. I'm not judging you, man. You like Murlocs, play Murky. I play him from time to time. He is.
You want to be a fish man pooping yourself all over the map? Go for it.
He is silly fun at times.
Yes.
So, let's take some emails before we end this episode.
Darkness stopped calling.
Hold on. Darkness just texted me.
Okay, tell him I'm not here.
Send your emails to itncast@gmail.com. Our first email today comes to us from Archie, and it reads, "Hey guys, love all of the shows you do. A-Move Radio, Angry Chicken, Into the Nexus. Biggest fan. Could be more regular, calling you out, Kyle.
Sure.
But I run out of content during the week, so if you could block off 6 or 7 more hours in your day to record podcasts, that would be great. I would love to do that.
Yeah.
Not possible, at least not at the moment. Anyway, as far as gender differences in heroes goes, this is referencing last week where we were talking about maybe having a male barbarian variant or having a female witch doctor variant and how they would handle that. Archie wanted to weigh in. He said, I would love to see completely different characters for female witch doctor, male barbarian, and the like, with different specs and weapons. Think a barbarian swinging a two-hander. No reason that a single class can't have multiple characters for it. We do have 2 Marines already, so just because we have Nova doesn't mean we can't, or doesn't mean Gabriel Tosh wouldn't be a cool addition. That sweet accent. Agreed. We need some Gabriel Tosh in here.
Yeah, I'd be all about that.
Yeah. Finishing, he says, just make sure they leave out male wizard and male demon hunter. Those guys are wimps. Hey, I play a male wizard. I realize that the female wizard has the better voice acting because she's freaking Azula. But
oh, you can't put those two against each other. That's Hellsing, man.
I wasn't a Hellsing fan, man. I can't get behind Carmen Sandiego masquerading as Dracula.
Then that's the guy who does the voiceovers for Legolas and all the video games, man.
Like, you're talking like PS2 Lord of the Rings movie games?
Every single video game that has had Orlando Bloom in it has been voiced by that man.
All right, I'm going to give him some credit there. I played the crap out of those Lord of the Rings games, man. Played the crap out of them. I don't disagree with this. It's just like Blizzard has already mentioned that they're like concerned about making stuff too similar. And it's just like, well, I think I'd almost rather see a new character than like if we're gonna see like a two-handed wielding male barbarian, I'd rather see like a Blade Master from Warcraft.
There are certainly more important characters to pick out. I would be perfectly happy with this system if they had a different classification, though. Sonya right now is being played like an assassin, but she's technically a warrior. How about we make her an assassin and we make that male barbarian sword and board and make him the warrior?
Ooh, I'd be down for that. Although I would love just like nameless WoW player warrior tank, like as the sword and board. Just give me like an orc and some old like Dungeon Set 2 from Vanilla WoW, just out there with his sword and shield. That'd be great. I could totally get behind that.
Well, you think of like a hero like Weaver in Dota 2. He has a passive whenever he attacks. Every couple seconds, he automatically shoots another auto attack. You're just sitting on you just take that ability right there, steal it. You're sitting on an elemental shaman. Like, I would love just class-specific, spec-specific heroes. That, let's name them Gregor 541. They're not even real heroes. Just really bad. Bob the Patient.
Sorry, I'm high.
Yeah.
Give him some type of
champion.
Some terrible online name. Yeah, that'd be funny. I don't disagree with this as long as it's different enough and it's interesting. Like for Diablo, I don't know how you'd make a female Diablo that played different than male Diablo. Because to me, Diablo is Diablo, and there shouldn't be a difference.
Right. The only thing I'm upset about with Diablo is that his stun, while it draws a nice pentagram on the ground, does not pop up a 2-second cage around the person. And it also doesn't put cages around their town portals, which they've opened. But other than that, I'm expecting a skin on that one. And there is one thing that, I'm going to break my free-to-play rules to do, and it's going to be to get Jennifer Hale voicing Diablo and my female Diablo skin.
Get on it, Blizzard. We can't wait. But I don't disagree with you, Archie.
Ooh, you know what they could do, though? They could do Shadow Diablo, which was when you fight him in Diablo 3, you go to that Shadow Realm where he makes copies of you to fight. And that could be an interesting alt, which could change things up a bit.
Yeah, I don't. Just give me female Diablo skin, man. I'm okay with Diablo as is.
Right. It's easier to make this sort of specialization change for the barbarian, but when you have the specialist as the witch doctor, what do you do then? Do you make the female an assassin? Are we really going to pump that much damage out on her? Is she pet spec? I guess for me it's the spirit spec that's missing, but we have poison toads, we have the spiders, we have a giant spirit ability that isn't even in Diablo but works as part of the character. So it'll be interesting to see what they choose to do. I'd be very surprised if they do multiple split characters for genders when they have so many still to go.
Yeah. Also, when you talk about having to be able to visually identify and tell the difference between two types, like if you had a male and a female witch doctor, I feel like in Diablo those two look incredibly similar once they're armored up.
Sure. Well, you're also dealing with similar armor sets.
Right. I guess you could do that. But then there's skins that changes armor completely already. I don't know. That doesn't matter. We're getting into nitty gritty, but
I don't think that's nitty gritty at all. I think you make an excellent point. You need to keep the silhouette similar because otherwise you can't do skins. It's very important. When you see someone running at you, think of, you have Kerrigan and you have Witch Doctor and Vala all are the same size. They're humans. Well, Kerrigan, she's had some modifications. Been infested once or twice.
Twice.
But it's the bent over, silhouette. It's the crossbows up in the air that immediately let you identify that person no matter how many hats and buttons you put on them. And it's a long game. You're not playing this for 3 seconds, or 5 minutes. There is a bit of an investment. You're being slowly introduced to players. That's how these games work. You have the lane phase, so you're not immediately exposed to 5 people running at you. Make your decision. You can click the tab button, see all the information as to who you're going to be fighting over the course of it. A very agreeable chat room here, though. I do want to see Gul'dan heals up.
Oh, make it happen.
And sad Gul'dan from the cutscene.
They spilt my drink.
And we need Manaroth. There's so many Kael'thas. Yes, we need them all.
Oh, we need a pit lord ASAP. I don't care which pit lord. Preferably Manaroth, but just a pit lord. Magtheridon would be fine too.
How many people... It was only 3 channels in the Hellfire raid, right? That you needed to unlock Manaroth?
What?
When you were doing the raid in Burning Crusade. I guess you didn't raid in Burning Crusade, did you?
I did. There's no. What are you talking about? Manaroth.
Not Manaroth.
Magtheridon.
Magtheridon.
Yeah, there were 3 cubes.
Okay, 3.
I
How
think
about
there
we
were
make
3.
that
Maybe there were
5?
2.
And let's make that the map. Unleashing
Oh,
Magtheridon.
so you have like Magtheridon in the middle, just yelling, "Take my blood and choke on it."
Vermin. Leeches.
Yeah, no, I raided the crap out of Magtheridon, man. I had the glaive of the pit on my hunter for the longest time. I love that polearm. Finally replaced my damn sonic spear, which I was carrying around forever. Anyways, it's neither here or there. Our next email comes to us from Handful, and he wanted to talk about the C key. C is in cat. It's a key on your keyboard. He said, "Hey, I've been listening for a while. Don't think I have heard anything about hitting C in game. I only noticed it after the last patch. How long have these stats been available?" Which made me go, what is he talking about? Load up Heroes of the Storm and hit C. And he's right. There's a stat panel that slides down. It shows you all kinds of crap about your specific hero. It shows your HP, your regen per second, your mana source / whatever it is your resource is, bonus ability power, cooldown reduction, attack range, attack damage, and quite a few other things. I didn't know
All
this
those
was in
beautiful
there.
stats they wanted to take away from you to keep the game simple looking can now be seen by hitting the C button.
Yeah, you just hit C. And you can
And
see.
the C button used to be your camera lock, which is now no longer in the game. You hold down spacebar to hover over your character. I guess they chose to go with something different. I guess it wasn't working for new players.
Oh, I didn't know camera lock was gone.
Yeah, it used to be the C button, which would allow you to do it. I know when Kristen first started playing Dota with me, she always used the camera lock because it made it a little more Diablo-esque, which is more her, wheelhouse.
Yeah,
and then
when Katie plays Heroes with me, that's how she does it.
Yeah, and then over time, you turn it off because you realize the importance of looking ahead of yourself, looking behind, keeping aware of the mini-map more.
Right. Yeah, I can't stand it, but I'm used to StarCraft and Dota.
Exactly.
But I can see if you've never played this type of game before, ever, that would be preferable. I should ask Jocelyn, because I know this isn't really her cup of tea either. I'm curious if she uses the camera lock or not.
Yeah, particularly when they're coming from games like Diablo, it seems like a pretty natural fit. Oh, so it's L now. Okay. Good.
Oh,
well,
right, so
that's
it's
not
still
going to
on
help that guy who was screaming at me the other night in game. What's the button to lock? And I kept saying C. And then I pressed C and I go, oh. Well, look at all these interesting stats.
I did not mean to lie to you, sir. I did, but it wasn't intentional.
While we're glancing at all the stats behind the scenes in this game, let's take a quick moment to say how happy I am that there's no armor in this game, because that is a headache to work through.
Armor?
Yeah, a lot. StarCraft has its various armor sets.
Oh, that I thought you meant. I thought you
types.
meant like equipable like items. Never mind. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and
Light,
the idea that
heavy.
I'm only being hit for 90% of the damage I take. Why didn't you just edit all the damage down and then get rid of the armor? I see you need it for items and itemization things. So
Right. There's a reason my mutalisks die faster to this thing than the other thing.
exactly.
Right, exactly. Heal Ups in the chat room wanted to ask, do you think we will ever see KJ, I'm assuming he means Kill Jaden, or Archimond? I could see that. Or why not Prince Malchazar? Or Draxus, Eridar Lord of the Burning Legion.
We can't get out of this game without Jiraxis, man.
Of the three, I mean, Kill Jaden's really similar looking.
Right, they're all the same sort of
And
race.
since this is Heroes of the Storm and not first boss of or second boss of Trial of the Champion, the most forgettable raid in all of Lich King, I think they would go with Kill Jaden over Jiraxis.
That's a good point, but Jiraxis' stock has gone way up since Hearthstone. I mean, he is an icon now. Have you heard the remix? It's great.
I have not heard the remix, but you make a good point, and I love the way you put that. I love the idea of people like, sell your Kill Jaden stock, buy Jiraxis stock, buy.
Archimond was defeated by Wisps. Sell. Sucks. That's great. You already have the first ability picked out. Inferno. And
Defeated by Wisps. That's my new band name. Defeated by Wisps. We
that's a good name, actually.
play pop
It's better
punk
than
emo
Matt
songs
Symbol
about
the bear.
Azeroth. Anyways, oh god, you got me at the end there. I think that'll do it for this week's episode. As always, thank you to all of our patrons supporting us over at patreon.com/ITN. We are supported by all of them over there, and we really thank them. This week, we wanted to thank Michael K., Wes U., Matt H. Thank you all so much for backing us on Patreon. We really appreciate it, helping us put a lot more time into the show than we would have had otherwise. So thanks. And also, if you're leaving us reviews in the iTunes store, we wanted to thank you. So this week, I wanted to thank Variety Mix and Priapus, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's my best, chance there. So, Into the Nexus, as always, is produced by amove.tv and our Patreon producer, Declan H. Thank you very much, Declan. You can see more about this and all of the other amove shows over on amove.tv. Our email is itncast@gmail.com. Check it out, all of the past episodes on youtube.com/StarcastShow or podcast wherever you prefer to get your podcasts. We're everywhere. Stitcher, iTunes. Somebody put us up in the Microsoft Store. I don't even know how to do that. So
Sweet.
Thank you to Disco. Catch us live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/amovetv. I need to update the website. I know it still says 9. I think it even still says Dills. It needs to be updated. Our mobile live stream is provided by alphageekradio.com. Our Twitter is @ITNcast. And check out briangriffithmusic.com for the musician who made our intro music. He's got some great work over there. So check him out, especially if you need some music. Kyle, where can folks find you?
You can find me on A-Move Radio, which should be coming back soon. I don't think it'll be back next week, though.
No,
Let's see.
Ben's still gone. Yeah.
Well, I've been watching so many movies that I can't wait to talk about. Edge of Tomorrow, one in particular.
Oh, I haven't watched. Is that out now? Is that on Redbox?
Yeah.
Because no one I know uses Redbox. Like, I feel like I'm like some type of like 55-year-old soccer mom or something because I use Redbox, but you do. So I can ask you that question. Was it good?
Let's see here.
Are you actually looking it up right now?
No, I'm checking if it's on Redbox for you because we actually have a dollar theater in town.
Oh, so you saw it. You saw it.
We did a double feature. We went and saw.
Okay.
We had a. What would it be? It would be a Power Suit double feature day, Monday, where we went and saw Elysium and Edge of Tomorrow back to back.
Oh, geez, Elysium's been on like DVD for a year. Why were they showing that? I don't think Edge of Tomorrow's out yet.
It was fun. I really enjoyed Edge of Tomorrow a lot.
Huh. That's hysterical. Okay.
But Elysium, not so much.
Elysium wasn't
more into that.
Elysium really wasn't that good. I was
No.
I was so incredibly disappointed by that movie because I loved that director's first movie, the District 9. It was a really good movie. Anyways, cool.
And then you can find me at kyleferguson.com for all your voice acting needs. I am a voice actor, and I do various production work for companies, training videos, and the like.
Awesome. I can be found on Twitter at GarrettArt. It's just my name with the word art afterwards. You can check out nomoonart.com for my graphic design portfolio. Working on quite a few things right now. I'm excited to show people when I can finally talk about them. But everything I'm allowed to show is up on my portfolio right now. Go check it over at nomoonart.com. And check out The Angry Chicken, a Hearthstone podcast I do. Chances are if you're listening to this, you've heard me mention it before. But check it out nonetheless. Also, use the code ITN over at dogcastsystems.com to get a double memory on your next Dogcast Systems gaming rig. It'll also get you 30% off and free shipping on your entire order of noise-reducing earbuds from tweakedaudio.com. And that goes for all of our listeners in Europe and places as well. It's free shipping anywhere. Doesn't matter. I'm pretty sure anywhere. I know Europe works. So someone's like, I'm currently doing science stuff down in Antarctica, and they charge me. How dare they? Like I'm sorry.
It's rough. Watch out for the thing.
And yeah, and penguins. If you find the Avatar, let me know, because I'm in the mood for an adventure.
You'll accompany him.
I want to make a sword out of a meteorite.
Oh, good stuff.
Watch that episode today, man. That's one of my favorite episodes.
I'm on an Adventure Time kick. I'm getting there. I know my Lord of the Rings clock is ticking. And I'm going to have to do that very soon.
Yeah, we're watching we'll probably watch Two Towers this weekend. And then we'll get into the special features on that. And then I'll get really inspired to do some crazy fantasy crap. So, Anyways, thanks for listening, everyone. We hope you enjoyed this episode. Since the alpha's going down, very good chance there'll be no Into the Nexus next week, but check out youtube.com/StarcastShow because we will put up a game or two of us playing Dota as some supplemental entertainment for you guys. We will see you whenever for Into the Nexus episode 23. Have a good one, everyone.
Take care.